Good morning, dear students. This lecture is for class 11th, subject business studies, chapter small business and enterprise, lecture 2. In this chapter, I will discuss Startup India scheme. Startup India is an initiative of Government of India. The campaign was first announced by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi on 15th August 2015 in his speech. Startup India is an action plan to develop an ecosystem and to promote entrepreneurship across the country. Government is offering various bank financing schemes to promote startups. A startup is a business enterprise in the form of private limited, company, partnership and sole proprietor. Registered in India, which was started less than 5 years ago and have annual turnover of less than 25 crore. See, startup should be private limited company, partnership, sole proprietor. Must registered in India and annual turnover less than 25 crore. To be eligible for setup, the enterprise should not have formed by splitting up or by reconstruction, and its turnover should not have exceed rupee 25 crore since its existence. Now, various schemes and ways to fund startup by Government of India. The Government of India is taking lot of steps to encourage startup project. Common schemes and benefits offered by the government are: first, no inspection, then registration, then income tax exemption, then capital gain exemption, benefit in patent and intellectual property, and funding scheme for startup. Let us explain it one by one. First, no inspection. Under this scheme, no inspection would be carried out at a startup for 3 years regarding labor law, etc., as they need only self-certification. 3-year exemptions will be there. Second, registration. The government has launched a mobile app in April 2016 and a portal that will allow startup to get registered in 1 day. In addition, there will be a single window for clearance, approval and registration. See, in 1 day you will get the registration of your company under startup scheme. The third is income tax exemption. Income tax exemption is available for the first 3 years. This exemption is available only after obtaining a certificate from Inter-Ministerial Board set up for this purpose. Next, capital gain exemption, capital gain tax exemption. The startup can claim capital gain tax exemption also for first 3 years. Benefit in patents and intellectual property. In patent cost, startup can claim an 80% rebate. That means that if a startup apply for patent, the government will give 80% rebate in fees. Even faster, patent registration and protection for intellectual property right are also provided under this scheme. Last, funding scheme for startup. The government has announced rupee 10,000 crore fund from new setups and 500 crore for credit guarantee scheme. Even foreign aid is also provided to startups. For example, a SoftBank of Japan invested 2 billion in Indian startups. So these are the schemes and benefits offered by the government. Now, funding options. Following are the funding options for startup to help raise capital. First is self-funding. Second, crowdfunding, angel investment, venture capital, funding from business, incubator and accelerator, and get business loans, NBFCs. So first, self-financing. To start business, self-funding is first option. On later stage, investors may get attracted. First of all, you have to invest in your business. Then crowdfunding as a funding option. Crowdfunding is one of the newer way of funding a setup that has been gaining a lot of popularity lately. It's like taking a loan, pre-order, contribution or investment from more than one person at the same time. This is how crowding work. An entrepreneur will put a detailed description of his business as a crowding platform. He will mention and maintain the goal of his business, plan for making a profit, how much funding he need and for what reason, etc. And then the investor can read about the business, give money if they like the idea. Those given money will make online pledge with the promise of pre-buying the product or giving a donation. Anyone can contribute money toward helping in business that they really believe in. Now, next point is angel investment. Get angel investment in your startup. Angel investment are industrial investments. Angel investment are individual with surplus cash and a keen interest to investment is upcoming startup. Angel investors have helped to start up many prominent companies including Google, Yahoo and Alibaba. This alternative form of investing generally occur in the company earlier stage of growth with investors expecting up to 30% equity. They prefer to take more risk investment for higher returns. Fourth, venture capital. Get venture capital for your business. Venture capital are professionally managed fund who invest in company that have huge potential. They usually invest in a business against equity and exist when there is an IPO or an acquisition. Get fund from business incubator and accelerator. Fifth point, early stage business can consider incubator and accelerator program as a funding option. It is found in almost every major city. These programs assist hundreds of startup business every year. The last one is get business loan NBFCs. There is an option non-banking financing company NBFCs. NBFCs means non-banking financing companies provide service to those who would not have access to convenience banking service. It is increasingly become popular for those whose requirements are limited and credit rating not favorable by bank. So these are the funding option for new startups. Thank you for the video. Now meet in the next video with the explanation of IP, intellectual property rights.